Now, I would like to welcome a very known face in our industry, Mr. Prasad Kapreji. And he had been working with De Beers since 1995. He has been instrumental in bringing up the brands like Nakshatra, Asmi, Arisia, Sangini, Anant. And Nakshatra has been a very powerful brand which actually encouraged Indian women to buy diamonds. It changed the entire scenario. And he being an industry expert, he is a MBA in marketing with a 35 years experience in marketing and 26 years dedicated experience with the gem and jewelry industry. And I would like Prasad Kapreji to share his views about the upcoming, like everyone is very interested about lab grown diamonds. Lab grown diamonds है क्या? उसको हम कैसे अपने रेगुलर कोर्स ऑफ बिजनेस में बेच सकते हैं? क्या मैं डायमंड और लैब ग्रोन डायमंड दोनों का स्टॉक रख सकता हूँ? देयर आर वेरियस क्वेश्चंस, लाइक एन नंबर ऑफ क्वेश्चंस, एंड सो वी हैव अ एक्सपर्ट आउट हियर who will be sharing his presentation in English as well as he will explain in Hindi so that it is comfortable to everyone. So I would invite Mr. Prasad Kapreji to take over from here.
Thank you, Sahil, and thank you, GJC, actually, for giving me this opportunity. Because, as you know, I'm very very passionate about natural diamonds, the mined diamonds, and now this lab-grown diamond is my new love. And I just thought that I'll share, which this as a growing category and a growing opportunity. Can you see my screen?
Yeah. Yes,
Okay.
yes. Your screen is visible. Everything is clear. Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, so when I talk about lab-grown diamonds, the first thing I've said here is more beautiful than you imagine for less than you think. And there is a reason for that, and I'll come to it when I start explaining about lab-grown diamonds. But first and the foremost, what I wanted to talk about was this headline, which took a lot of my interest, and I was really surprised to see this, but nonetheless, it's very, very encouraging. It's from Economic Times, and it's just literally last week, 12th of August, so it's exactly 1 week ago. And it said, demand for lab-grown diamonds picks up in India. And actually, if you really go through this whole article, you will be surprised that in July alone, there was anywhere between 50 to 60% growth. Of course, they also talk about the pent-up demand and because of which this has happened. But also because of the pandemic, what is happening is that there is a clear shift in terms of the affordability factor, in terms of what is new in the market, and also in terms of the curiosity about what these lab-grown diamonds are all about. And the consumers are very keen to know more. I mean, that's something very clearly written in the article. So I would encourage all of you कि आप Google करें इस article को, आप अगर type करेंगे demand for lab-grown diamonds, picks up in India, and you'll be able to see this article. And in fact, it also talks about how the exports are growing, which in any case is phenomenal growth. And that's what is very interesting, and that's what catches everyone's eye. So what I'm going to take you through is give you a little background about the changing consumers, where are they today, and how things have changed over the last 50, 60 years in terms of the changing behavior of the consumers. Then I'm going to take you through what are lab-grown diamonds, how are they, different than the mined diamonds, or are they alike? Are they identical? Whatever. So that's the second part of it. Then where are they actually grown? Which are the countries or which are the places across the world where these lab-grown diamonds are grown? Then the next big question is, why should any retailer get into this category? And if yes, if he gets convinced, why should he get into it? Then when is the right time to get into this? And then who are the players? Because finally, people have to know who are the current players and from where can they buy and where can they get more information, whom can they actually talk to. And finally, a few frequently asked questions which have been there for this category. But nonetheless, after the presentation, I'm more than happy to take as many questions because, as I said, I may or may not have answers to everything because it's completely a new category, but I think I have done enough research and understanding. In fact, I've gone through 9 different research reports, which is right from Frost and Sullivan to Bain and Company to McKinsey, A.T. Kearney, you know, and you name it, and it's all there, because every research agency is also covering this category, because there is a very new interest which has come across the world. So that's what I'm going to do. Now, coming to, you know, the changing consumers, if you really see, you know, I'm sure you'll all agree that the first was the industrial revolutions, which have started happening around the 50s and 60s. And at that point in time, in fact, a generation or two earlier than ours, you know, that time, the options for a job or options for a livelihood were very, very limited. And people were just doing their jobs for survival. They wanted to feed their families. So जो मिल जाए, जहाँ जॉब मिल जाए, मैं बस वहीं टिका रहना चाहता हूँ. मैं 35 साल, 36 साल, 40 साल एक ही जगह पे हूँ. Even if my boss is abusive, it didn't matter. And people had to actually work there. And that was all about the, you know, industrial revolution, where there was limited options for them. Then came, of course, in the late 80s, the information and internet revolution. And suddenly it opened up a lot of options for everyone. In fact, that's when even your salary started shooting up. उससे पहले आपकी सैलरी अगर 1000 रुपए होगी तो लोग बड़ी वाहवाही करते थे कि भाई 4 फिगर में इसकी सैलरी है, बहुत बड़ी बात है. And but then came the internet revolution, जहां पे लोगों को 5 फिगर सैलरी की आदत पड़ने लग गई. And of course it grew over a period of time, but nonetheless there was a huge shift that happened. And because of this shift, जो consumers में जो बड़ा shift आया, वो था कि it wasn't about you know, jobs for survival. Now they wanted to improve their standard of living. अगर मैं अच्छा कमा रहा हूँ तो मैं अपनी मुझे, मेरे लिए एक गाड़ी होनी चाहिए, मेरे लिए मेरा खुद का घर होना चाहिए, मुझे वर्ल्ड ट्रैवल करना है, मुझे एक्सपीरियंस चाहिए अलग अलग जगहों का, अलग अलग चीजों का. सो एक मटेरियल वर्ल्ड में कन्वर्ट होते गए हम, और ज्यादा से ज्यादा लोगों को अपना स्टैंडर्ड ऑफ लिविंग इंप्रूव करना था. एंड उसके बाद जो अभी रेवोल्यूशन जो अब आया है, विच इज मोर अबाउट सोशल एंड डिजिटल रेवोल्यूशन. And this is a generation which is all about can do or will do generation. In fact, Honorable Prime Minister also spoke about this generation as the can do generation. And ये सच्चाई है कि जो आज की जनरेशन है वो बहुत ज्यादा अपने आप में बिलीव करती है, कुछ वो कर दिखाने का जज्बा रखती है, और वो चाहते हैं कि वो वर्ल्ड को अपनी प्रूव कर सके, और वो ज्यादा से ज्यादा they want to give it back to the world. So it is no more just standard of living. Now the shift is happening on quality of living. कि मैं खुद क्या क्वालिटी जी रहा हूँ, और मैं कैसे दूसरों को भी क्वालिटी लाइफ दे सकता हूँ कि नहीं. ये जो एक नया शिफ्ट आया है, वो एक बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग शिफ्ट है. एंड इसमें सबसे बड़ी बात उनके लिए है सेव द प्लैनेट. बिकॉज पैंडेमिक ने उनको एक चीज सिखाई है कि जो अब्यूज यू नो ह्यूमंस ने किया है एनवायरनमेंट का, नाउ द एनवायरनमेंट इज रिटेलिएटिंग एंड गेटिंग बैक एट अस, एंड इट्स अक्रॉस द वर्ल्ड. एंड दैट इज अ रियलिटी विद व्हिच, इनफैक्ट जब लॉकडाउन था, अब बंबई जैसे शहर में मरीन ड्राइव पे डॉल्फिन्स देखे गए थे. एंड दैट क्लियरली गोज टू शो कि अगर ह्यूमन इंटरवेंशन ना हो, कोई डिस्टर्बेंस ना हो, तो even nature wants to return back to their original habitat. और वो जो हो रहा है, तो you know, and this generation शुरू से ये देखती आई है, और अब तो डिजिटल मीडिया की वजह से, सोशल डिजिटल मीडिया की वजह से रोज उनका ये कोई ना कोई मैसेज होता है कि यू हैव टू सेव द अर्थ, planet Earth, or you have to save the environment, you have to save trees, you have to save forests, save water, save electricity, save tigers, save you know, practically everything, save nature. So ये जो एक जज्बा उनमें मतलब जब से बॉर्न हुए तब से आया है, so they actually want to have a better quality of living. So it's no more about standard of living. मेरे पास गाड़ी हो ना हो मुझे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, मेरे पास खुद का घर हो ना हो कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, लेकिन मैं एक ऐसे एक्सपीरियंस चाहता हूँ और खुद भी लेना चाहता हूँ, और मेरी जो फ्यूचर आने वाली जनरेशन है उनके लिए एक मैं क्वालिटी ऑफ लिविंग देना चाहता हूँ. सो दैट इज समथिंग व्हिच इज अ बिग शिफ्ट व्हिच हैज ऑलरेडी स्टार्टेड हैपनिंग. In fact, recently there has been a McKinsey report of June 2021, मतलब इस साल जून का है, और उसमें 90% of the audience of Zen, that is Generation Z, which basically have born post 1995, and that's the generation which actually 90% talked about the environment. They talked about sustainability, and which is very much there in the McKinsey report. So you can also actually read that report. And what it says is that when they talk about sustainability, it's all about sustaining the environment, protection of society, society, and also overall quality of living. So that's what they all believe in. So it's a huge shift which has happened. So जरूरी नहीं है कि उनको कुछ खरीदना है या नहीं खरीदना है, उनको एक experience चाहिए, and that's what they believe in. And जो एक कहते हैं ना FOMO, which is fear of missing out, that is something which is also there, and they want to experience practically anything and everything. So that's a big shift which is already happening. So now coming to what are lab-grown diamonds, right? So now GIA has very clearly defined in terms of what exactly are these lab-grown diamonds. And lab diamonds are chemically, physically, optically, and optically are identical to mined diamonds. This has been also endorsed by Federal Trade Commission of the US, whose main role is on the protection for the consumers. So they have to ensure the only thing which FTC has added is that as long as the trade very clearly defines or rather declares that these are lab grown and these are natural, that's absolutely fine. So it is almost like the IVF baby, like a test tube baby. जैसे कहते हैं ना कि जो टेस्ट ट्यूब बेबी है, अब अंबानी चिल्ड्रन आर टेस्ट ट्यूब बेबी. इनफैक्ट उन्होंने खुद, ईशा अंबानी ने खुद एक इंटरव्यू में कहा था कि दे आर IVF babies. And so what it means is they are still Ambanis, so their status doesn't change, and also it still remains that they are as human as any other natural baby. So ये same cheese lab grown diamonds में भी है कि they are as identical as any mined diamond. And that's why they are absolutely similar. Now, there are two different kinds of lab-grown diamonds. Now, one is the process of growing is called chemical vapor deposition, or CVD, and the other is a high pressure, high temperature. So what's the difference between the two? Well, coming to the chemical vapor deposition, it's much more advanced technology than the HPHT technology, and it's largely developed in India. And I think that's what makes us all very proud. And even Modi ji has been talking about make in India, but for the world, and that's a reality which the CVD has managed to achieve. So it's basically, it's the process that is replicated. So what happens below the earth is exactly the same process above the earth. So the only difference is वहाँ पे ज़मीन के नीचे होता है, mines में होती है वो process, or it takes generations or billions of years, as they say, versus this happens in a sort of a plasma reactor in which you create this. And this plasma reactor is actually slightly bigger than your washing machine size, whereas the mined diamonds, obviously there needs to be a huge mining activity. So that's the sort of a difference between the two. But the interesting part is that every chemical vapor deposition developed diamond, is completely pure carbon, because it's totally nitrogen free. So what it means is that every diamond which is developed or is through this CVD technology is actually classified as type 2A. And type 2A is the Kohinoor quality. Now, which is in the mined diamonds, it's less than 2% of all mined diamonds in the world can get a certification of type 2A. And of course, Kohinoor was one of them. And why Kohinoor diamond was named as Kohinoor is also because it's all about mountain of light. That's what Kohinoor actually means. That means because it was a type 2A, the radiance, the brilliance, the sparkle, and the fire of that diamond was much, much higher than any other diamond. And that's why the type 2A diamonds are sparkling. Their radiance is much better. And that's exactly, every CVD has this quality. So every CVD gets classified as type 2A. So every CVD technically is of Kohinoor quality, is technically mountain of light. So ultimately consumer diamonds क्यों खरीदता है? Because I always say that no woman needs a diamond, but every woman wants one, and that's a reality. So, but they actually buy for the brilliance and the radiance, because the way it handles light. और अगर CVD में ये एक टेक्नोलॉजी की वजह से वो लाइट का हैंडलिंग ऑफ लाइट इज मच बेटर, तो उसकी वजह से जो ब्रिलियंस आता है, जो स्पार्कल आता है, वो काफी ज्यादा है. Yes, CVD is slightly more expensive. I would say 10 to 15% is generally the difference, which is between HPHT and the pricing of CVD. And it's also because obviously CVD is considered to be a superior technology. And of course, there is no mining involved in this, because everything happens in a plasma reactor. And so it has a very limited impact on environment because there is no mining. But yes, it is still, there is a whole lot of controversy around in terms of whether it's truly environmental friendly or not. But yes, over the years, I mean, till maybe 2015, this was a bigger controversy. But now things have changed dramatically because people have started using renewable energy. और उसकी वजह से जो इसका इम्पैक्ट है एनवायरनमेंट पे वो बहुत कम हो चुका है. सो इट इज कंसिडर्ड टू बी एनवायरमेंटल फ्रेंडली. कमिंग टू द HPHT, इट इज लार्जली डेवलप्ड इन चाइना, बट इसमें एक जो टेक्नोलॉजी का डिफरेंस आता है, हियर इट्स एक्चुअली देयर इज अ होल लॉट ऑफ ग्रेफाइट एंड मोल्टन मेटल इनफ्लक्स, which is of course in the diamond forms under severe temperature and pressure conditions. And uski wajah se jo diamond jo grow hota hai, it is not as pure as what jo CVD mein hota hai. And because it is not the purest form of carbon, it is not classified or not certified as type 2A. Unlike in CVD, every diamond is type 2A. यहाँ पे ये type 2A नहीं होते हैं. That's a reality. That's also because there is a whole lot of nitrogen that goes into these diamonds, and because of that, there is a hint of colors, which is though of course not visible to the naked eye, but nonetheless उसकी वजह से उसको ये type 2A नहीं मिलता है. Also, it is older technology, so it is slightly inferior to CVD. So it is less on price, but most of the production is less than 1 carat size. Yes, I mean, no doubt बड़े diamonds भी अब बनने लगे हैं, but still percentage wise अगर आप देखोगे तो ज्यादा से ज्यादा जो जितने भी HPHT grown diamonds हैं वो 1 carat size से कम के हैं. And again, of course, there is no mining involved, so this is also considered to be environmental friendly. The next question is then, what is the difference between the two? I mean, on one hand, you have the lab-grown diamonds, and on the other, you have the mined diamonds. Now, it's pretty simple. I mean, these are, of course, created in a reactor, as I said, plasma reactor, versus this is below the earth, in the Earth's crust. So this is above the earth, this is below the earth. Otherwise, everything else remains exactly the same in terms of the temperature, the pressure, and the gases. So बाकी सब exactly identical है. So खाली difference है वो below the earth है mined diamonds, और lab grown diamonds are above the earth. Of course, because ये plasma reactors में है, and because as I said it's almost slightly bigger than just your washing machine, so जो access है rough diamonds की वो बड़ी आसान हो जाती है. Whereas जो mined diamond की access है, of course you have to go through years of exploration, mining, and you require huge efforts in terms of human resources and of course money, because it costs humongously high when you get into mining, and that obviously gets passed on to the consumers, to the end consumers. Lab grown diamonds are chemically, physically, and optically identical to mined diamonds, and as far as mined diamonds are concerned, they are chemically, physically, and optically identical to lab grown diamonds. So there is practically no difference. Since there is no mining cost in the lab-grown diamonds, so obviously वो काफी सस्ता पड़ता है, you know, so that benefit is actually passed on to the consumers. And so the lab-grown diamond, क्योंकि मुझे ये काफी बार सवाल आता है कि ये इतने cheap क्यों हैं, क्योंकि because इतने cheap हैं तो हमें लगता है कि ये कोई fake हैं या real नहीं हैं या ऐसा कुछ एक feeling आती है, but that's not true. In fact, the whole idea is कि because इसमें mining cost involved नहीं है, तो वो जो बेनिफिट मिलता है वो कंज्यूमर्स को पास ऑन किया जा रहा है. Whereas of course you know, it is on the mine diamonds there is a huge amount of exploration and mining cost which gets loaded onto the pricing of the diamonds, और उसकी वजह से जो mine diamonds है वो 2 to 3 times ज्यादा expensive है than lab grown. So in other words, lab grown is maybe 1/3 the price of natural diamonds or mine diamonds. The quality of diamonds is comparable to the mine diamonds and graded in the same manner as mine diamonds. So जो अगर आप लैब में भी सर्टिफाई कराने जाओगे तो उसका जो टर्मिनोलॉजी है, जो प्रोसेस है, वो सारा exactly same है. So it still gets you know, the grading is done on the basis of the 4 C's as what is done for the mine diamonds. और आखिरी जो फर्क है कि these are all ethically sourced and are conflict free. हालांकि माइन डायमंड्स में भी अभी परसेंटेज बहुत कम हो गया है, बट देयर इज स्टिल अ मिनिस्क्यूल अमाउंट दैट कम्स आउट ऑफ दीज कॉन्फ्लिक्ट जोन्स एंड एट टाइम्स दीज आर टर्म्ड एज ब्लड डायमंड्स. सो प्रैक्टिकली जो बड़े डिफरेंस मैं यही कहूंगा कि दिस इज क्रिएटेड अबव द अर्थ एंड माइन डायमंड्स आर बिलो द अर्थ. एंड यहाँ पे बिकॉज माइनिंग इन्वॉल्व नहीं है तो ये यू नो कॉस्ट बेनिफिट मिल जाता है कंज्यूमर्स को, जो माइन डायमंड में नहीं मिलता है. ओके. So now comes the question of what is the potential of lab-grown diamonds. So this is a report by Frost and Sullivan. Now, if you see the two graphs, which is there, which is in terms of the demand and supply. जो demand है over the years, जो 2014 से 2050 तक जो grow कर रही है, मतलब अगले 30 साल तक definitely grow कर रही है, which is at the rate of about 2 to 3% every year. So जो अगर आप देखोगे जो 134 मिलियन कैरेट्स की जो रिक्वायरमेंट थी वो धीरे धीरे बढ़कर 292 मिलियन कैरेट्स पे जा रही है इन नेक्स्ट 30 इयर्स. और जो एक एवरेज है 2 to 3% ग्रोथ का वर्ल्ड का एवरेज है. ऑफ कोर्स एशिया एंड इंडिया इज डूइंग मच बेटर, बट नॉनदलेस वर्ल्ड का जो एवरेज है वो लगभग 2 से 3% है. एंड दिस हैज आल्सो बीन क्लैरिफाइड बाय द मैकेंजी रिपोर्ट व्हिच वाज रिलीज्ड इन जून 21. सो उसमें भी उन्होंने बोला है कि 2 से 3% का ग्रोथ रहेगा. And if you go by that logic, this has been the growth. So there is going to be a big growth. But what is happening is the mines are getting exhausted and they are getting there is a complete depletion of the rough diamonds. और उसकी वजह से mines are closing down. जैसे last year आपने देखा था कि Rio Tinto की कुछ mines बंद हो गई हैं. और ऑल्सो बिकॉज जो पैंडेमिक था उसकी वजह से जो भी माइनिंग में भी असर पड़ा है. तो आज हालांकि ये फ्रॉस्ट एंड सलिवन की रिपोर्ट कहती है कि 2022 में 137 मिलियन होगा और 2026 4 साल बाद 113 मिलियन कैरेट का प्रोडक्शन होगा. लेकिन अगर आप बेन एंड कंपनी की रिपोर्ट देखोगे जो कि मार्च 2021 में रिलीज हुई है, उसमें ऑलरेडी द प्रोडक्शन ऑफ रफ डायमंड has already come down to 111 million. तो जो 2026 में होना चाहिए था वो 2021 में हो चुका है ऑलरेडी. Of course, no doubt it's also because of the pandemic and because mining भी काफी दिनों तक, काफी महीनों तक बंद थी. But nonetheless, what it clearly goes to show is mines are depleting of their rough diamonds, and नई mines खोलना ज्यादा मुश्किल हो रहा है because the kind of money that is required and the kind of efforts that is required is huge. So exploration भी कम होते जा रहे हैं and the likelihood of opening new mines is also going to be tough. So your actually जो सप्लाई है वो कम होती जा रही है और आपकी डिमांड ग्रो करती जा रही है. तो अगर 2030 भी देखूं तो the demand is likely to be 221 million carats. That's going to be the demand worldwide. Whereas जो प्रोडक्शन आपका कम हो जाएगा वो 62 मिलियन पे आ जाएगा. So there is going to be a huge deficit of 159 million carats, and this is where the lab-grown diamonds are actually going to fulfill this market. So lab-grown diamonds obviously are going to grow. There is a huge demand, and even if you see in 30 years time, there is going to be still further, deficit, which is of 278 million carats. So there is a huge deficit which is happening. And जो आज मुश्किल से मतलब जो आज हम कह रहे हैं कि सप्लाई में 111 मिलियन कैरेट्स का हमारा रफ सप्लाई है, that will is going to come down to 14 million, or versus that the demand is going to grow to that. So there is, so ये सारा जो gap होगा वो fulfill ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा lab grown diamonds करेंगे. Now coming to the question कि भाई इंडिया में इसका क्या potential है? And if you actually see, this is a report by the Wise Guy, 2020 की एक report है. Fortunately, उन्होंने India market को भी इसमें cover किया, क्योंकि most of the reports otherwise are of the US or Europe, but this particular report is which covers India also. Of course, they have done a global research also. But जो इंडिया का मार्केट है वो अबाउट 1.5 बिलियन डॉलर्स का है इस वक्त, टोटल लैब ग्रोन का is just about 20%, जो कि 304 बिलियन US dollars का है, which when converted into rupees is about 2,300 crores. और जो आपका अगर इंडिया मार्केट आप ज्वेलरी में सॉरी माइन डायमंड्स में आप देखोगे, so that is roughly about 40,000 crores. So this is already about at 5.5%, जो आज से 3 साल पहले तक मुश्किल से 1.5% था. तो 3 सालों में ऑलरेडी ये 5.5% पे पहुंच चुका है. So there is already a big shift and big jump that has already happened. Okay, and if you see, and the markets are going to grow even much faster, because ये जो report में उन्होंने लिखा है कि भाई 9.6% से grow होगा. So this was last year's, and this year if you see, as I said, कि Economic Times already has said कि the market is growing at 50 to 60%. So मैं अगर ये assumption लेके चलूं कि भाई कम से कम 15% पे तो होगा, तो भी अगले 4 सालों में by 2025 this is going to go to 4,000 crores, which again, if I compare to the mine diamond market, so from current 5%, it will jump to almost 8.5 to 9%. So there again, there is going to be a huge growth, and which is also evident if you really see the export data. जो exports grow हुए हैं पिछले 3-4 सालों में, उधर growth rate is 83%, which is huge. और अगर आप इस बार का देखोगे 21 का the first quarter, which is April to June or April to even July अगर मैं ले लूं, तो already it's showing promises कि जो आपने last year 5,000 करोड़ का लगभग total export किया था, वो इस साल 10,000 करोड़ हो जाएगा, which actually means from 83% जो growth rate है वो 100% पे चला जाएगा. तो अगर ये एक्सपोर्ट में जो ऐसा ग्रोथ होगा, तो ऑब्वियसली उसका रब ऑफ इंडियन मार्केट में तो आना ही है, दैट्स फॉर श्योर, एंड दैट्स व्हाट इज लाइकली टू हैपन. सो 15% आल्सो जो हम कह रहे हैं कि मार्केट ग्रोथ होगी, वो भी बहुत ही कंजर्वेटिव फिगर है. मेरे हिसाब से तो 27-28% के आसपास इसका एवरेज आना चाहिए. सो दैट्स द वे दिस मार्केट इज लाइकली टू ग्रो. Then of course the question is, where are these lab grown diamonds actually grown? If you see this, as I was just talking about, Bain and Company report, abhi March 21 को release हुई है ये report, and which says that totally जो world का production है, it is about 6 to 7 million carats. Now the total production of diamond, मैंने जैसे आपको पहले बताया कि 111 million है, तो this is already at about anywhere between 5 to 6%. तो उतना production हुआ है, but obviously what you also see is there is a huge potential of the balance 95%, which is going to grow. And so you have US, you have Europe and Middle East, you have Russia, you have China, Singapore, and India, which are the major growers. But if you see the graph and the colors, the red color is of course for the CVDs, and that's where India is the largest grower of CVD diamonds. And I feel really proud as an Indian कि एक ऐसी टेक्नोलॉजी हमारे पास है जो कि लार्जेस्ट ग्रोइंग of lab grown diamonds है. And so the total production of lab grown diamond out of this 6 to 7 million is about 1.5 million carats, and there are quite a few growers who contribute this in a major way. Yes, but HPHT, of course, which as I had said is an older technology, is being grown by China, and that is about 3 million carats. Then the rest of it, and to the extent that Europe and US is still struggling to come anywhere close to the Indian production. So now coming to the key point, that why should a retailer introduce lab-grown diamonds in their showroom? I find there is a huge amount of already interest being shown by the consumers, and that's what Economic Times has also said. So first and first foremost is it is absolutely an incremental business opportunity. ऑलरेडी आप गोल्ड रखते हैं, डायमंड रखते हैं, प्लैटिनम रखते हैं, सिल्वर रखते हैं, अलग अलग सेगमेंट्स हैं आपके जो ये केटर करते हैं. तो ये एक नया सेगमेंट आपके लिए तैयार हो रहा है, which obviously is likely to give you a incremental business opportunity, and it gives you returns which are much higher than even mined diamond jewelry versus this particular lab-grown diamond jewelry. और गोल्ड के हिसाब से तो ऑफ कोर्स ये कहीं ज्यादा आपको रिटर्न्स देगा. सो एक ऐसा है कि जहां पे हमारी आज इंडस्ट्री अपने मार्जिन्स के लिए स्ट्रगल कर रही है, सो आई थिंक दिस इज वन ग्रेट अपॉर्चुनिटी जहां पे ये मार्जिन्स आपको बेटर मिल सकते हैं, जहां पे आपकी सस्टेनेबिलिटी भी बढ़ सकती है. तीसरा है, of course, you are likely to attract new consumer segments because, as I said, there are a couple of things here. जो मेरा पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस रहा है, क्योंकि कुछ कैटेगरी हमने ऑलरेडी 10-12 रिटेलर्स के साथ एक्सपेरिमेंट करी हैं जो ऑलरेडी मार्केट में हैं, और जो हमें पता चला है कि जो प्लेन गोल्ड ज्वेलरी जो कंज्यूमर खरीदते हैं आज, वो दे कैन अफोर्ड इट. आज अगर आप एक प्लेन गोल्ड ज्वेलरी भी रिंग खरीदने जाएंगे तो कम से कम 35,000 के आसपास वो ज्वेलरी, वो रिंग आपको बैठेगी, मतलब कंज्यूमर को देना होगा. जो उसी में अगर आपको हाफ अ कैरेट डायमंड मिल जाए, मतलब लगभग 50,000 में आपको हाफ अ कैरेट लैब ग्रोन डायमंड मिल जाएगा. सो वो जो एक एक्साइटमेंट है, बिकॉज एवरी वुमन एस्पायर्स टू अपग्रेड देमसेल्व्स, नोबडी वांट्स टू रिमेन at the same old jewelry. Every woman wants to buy diamonds, and now this has become a affordable sector, and especially the solitaire segment, because that is one segment which because that's where people would be more interested. और अगर वही 15,000 एक्स्ट्रा देके अगर आपको हाफ अ कैरेट का मिल रहा है या 40 सेंट्स का मिल रहा है, ऑफ कोर्स डिपेंडिंग ऑन द कलर क्लैरिटी एटसेट्रा, बट व्हाई नॉट, मतलब जरूर लोग ज्यादा से ज्यादा वहां शिफ्ट करेंगे. और जो अगर आपको गोल्ड ज्वेलरी में जो मार्जिन मिलते हैं उससे कहीं ज्यादा, मतलब दिस हियर यू कैन गेट एनीवेयर बिटवीन 25 to 30% मार्जिन. तो मतलब ऑलमोस्ट 300 से 400% ज्यादा एक्स्ट्रा मार्जिन आप इस पे बना सकते हैं. The other, of course, is जो जनरेशन Z जो मैं कह रहा था, जिसके बारे में मैंने इनिशियली बात करी, कि जो एनवायरमेंटल फ्रेंडली प्रोडक्ट्स में बिलीव करते हैं, जो क्वालिटी ऑफ लिविंग में बिलीव करते हैं, जो वो लोग हैं जो प्लैनेट को सेव करना चाहते हैं, फॉरेस्ट को सेव करना चाहते हैं, ट्रीज दे वांट टू सेव ऑन वाटर. तो उनके लिए ये एक ऑप्शन हो जाता है, एंड बिकॉज ऑल्सो इट्स अफोर्डेबल. तो दोनों फैक्टर्स की वजह से उनको एक नया रीजन है टू कम इनटू योर शोरूम. और इससे जो सबसे बड़ा फायदा होता है कि इनकी जो लाइफ टाइम वैल्यू होगी, बिकॉज जो आज की तारीख में अगर कोई जो माइंड डायमंड या नेचुरल डायमंड्स खरीदते हैं वो यूजुअली 35 प्लस की एज के होते हैं, एंड यूजुअली दे गो ऑन बाइंग टिल अबाउट 55 or 60, and after that, of course, they start buying for their grandchildren. But for themselves, if that segment, if you want to see, is usually between 35 to 55, वो 20 साल, and they tend to come to the same retailer. लेकिन यहाँ पे just because at 25 they'll start buying, so you have an additional 10 years of lifetime value for these consumers, and that itself, from a long-term perspective, is going to give you huge returns. So वो एक आपको दूसरा attraction है. Then of course इसकी वजह से कि गिफ्टिंग सेगमेंट काफी ओपन हो गया है, एंड अगेन दिस इज मोर फ्रॉम द ब्राइडल सेगमेंट आल्सो. सो अपार्ट फ्रॉम द फॉर एंगेजमेंट रिंग्स एंड ब्राइडल ज्वेलरी, पीपल आर शिफ्टिंग, but of course shifting for bigger sizes of stones, but in terms of because of its affordability, even the return gifts का जो होता है वो भी काफी इसमें चलन है. और दूसरा, otherwise also for any kind of a gifting, this segment is opening up because of diamonds always have a aspirational value, and also the fact that now they are more accessible, now that they are more affordable, the gifting segment एक और open हो रहा है. And then comes the larger volume business because ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लोग इसमें शिफ्ट होंगे. And as I said, the consumer जो gold jewelry खरीद रहा है वो भी शिफ्ट होने के चांसेस ज़्यादा हैं, बेटर हैं. और सिमिलरली इवन यहाँ पे जो ऑलरेडी माइन डायमंड्स खरीद रहे हैं उनके लिए भी अगर बिगर डायमंड खरीदने हो, क्योंकि जो मेरा तजुर्बा रहा है डिबेयर्स के साथ एंड ऑल्सो आई मीन इवन नाउ इफ यू रियली सी जो टोटल मार्केट है which is almost less than a carat market is almost 87-88% of the market, and that will continue in favor of the natural diamonds for sure. मतलब काफी एक्सटेंड तक, क्योंकि प्राइस डिफरेंस शायद उसमें इतना ज्यादा ना हो, क्योंकि स्टार्स और मेले इंडिया में बिकते हैं. तो 85% इज एक्चुअली स्टार्स एंड मेले दैट रियली सेल्स इन द इंडियन मार्केट. तो उन स्मॉल स्टोन्स में आपको प्राइस डिफरेंस इतना दिखेगा नहीं. बट जहां सॉलिटेयर्स की बात आती है, जहां बिगर डायमंड्स की बात आती है 30 पॉइंट प्लस, वो एक जो सेगमेंट है वो सडनली ओपन अप होगा. और वहां पे तो इसलिए नेचुरल भी आपका बिकेगा जिसमें स्मॉलर डायमंड्स की ज्वेलरी ज्यादा जाएगी. और अगर सॉलिटेयर सेगमेंट में आप एक्चुअली इस पे फोकस करेंगे तो इसमें आपको बेटर मैंने वॉल्यूम्स मिलेंगे. सो दैट्स अनदर रीजन. Then of course there is a higher conversion, जो affordability factor है और sustainability factor है, उसकी वजह से higher conversion के chances हैं. There is a improved ROI, average जो आपका per square foot returns हैं, because it's an incremental business, because it's going to have larger volumes. तो आपके average per square foot returns भी बढ़ जाएंगे. As long as you are very transparent with your declaration on the diamonds, उसके लिए I mean ideally तो आप खुद का एक अलग ब्रांड बनाएं, अलग शोकेस में रखें उसको. और या फिर अगर आप खुद का ब्रांड नहीं बनाना चाहते हैं तो काफी सारे ब्रांड्स मार्केट में नए आए हुए हैं, so you can deal in those and actually showcase it very transparently, so you will be seen as a visionary jeweler, because the consumers actually would appreciate कि ठीक है हमारे लिए कुछ नई चीज है और कुछ नया ऑफरिंग है जो अब वो ज्यादा से ज्यादा अफोर्ड कर पाएंगे. So it gives better value for consumers and obviously more money for retailers in terms of the returns. And finally, the bigger choice that the consumers today have is जो आपके माइन डायमंड्स या नेचुरल डायमंड्स खरीद रहे हैं, they want to now double the size. तो ऐसा नहीं है, ये अगेन मेरे पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस से मैं बता रहा हूँ आपको कि ऐसा नहीं है कि अगर मेरा 10 लाख का बजट है जो नॉर्मली नेचुरल डायमंड में अगर मैं खरीदना चाहता हूँ खासकर सॉलिटेयर सेगमेंट में, तो ऐसा जरा भी नहीं है कि मैं 10 लाख की जगह 5 लाख में अगर मेरे को लैब ग्रोन डायमंड मिल रहा है तो मैं अपना बजट कम कर दूंगा. That till date we haven't seen, and worldwide we haven't seen. It's not just about India, but even worldwide, people are not compromising on their budgets, but they definitely want to go for a bigger size, and that's the big shift which is happening. And of course, half the price जो दूसरा ऑप्शन है वो मैं गोल्ड जो प्लेन गोल्ड ज्वेलरी खरीदते हैं उनके लिए मैं कह रहा हूँ, क्योंकि जहां वो नहीं तो सीजेड वाली ज्वेलरी खरीदते थे आपसे, मेरे ख्याल से ये जो आपका सीजेड की ज्वेलरी है और जो नेचुरल डायमंड की ज्वेलरी है, this has to be pegged between those two segments. तो यहाँ वहां पे उनके लिए हाफ द प्राइस में अगर डायमंड मिल रहा है, जैसे मैंने कहा कि भाई 35,000 मेरे को प्लेन गोल्ड रिंग मिल रही है वर्सेस हाफ अ कैरेट डायमंड की रिंग अगर मुझे 50,000 या 55,000 में मिल रही है, तो व्हाई नॉट. सो दैट्स द इंटरेस्टिंग एलिमेंट. So when is the right time to introduce lab grown diamonds? Well, it is now, because this market is going to boom. Indian market is definitely going to boom. अभी जो फिलहाल जो इसकी टोटल वैल्यू है 2,300 करोड़ की है, and which as per the Wise Guy report is growing at 9.6%, but as I said, it's very, very conservative, and this was last year's figure. And also the fact that now new associations are emerging in lab grown. Growers are coming together and forming different associations. एक जो association अभी form हुई है वो है Lab Created Diamond Association of India, which is LCDI. And उनका major focus होगा कि to create awareness about lab grown diamonds in the Indian market, and that is going to accelerate the growth to 15%. वर्सेस जो आपकी बाकी ज्वेलरी की ग्रोथ रेट है वो 2 से 3% होगी. सो दिस इज गोइंग टू ग्रो एट मे बी 300 to 400% मच मोर फास्टर, you know, so there is a huge growth expected. So then the question remains कि भाई कहाँ से आप लें, और फिलहाल ये who are the players in the industry? Worldwide, of course, De Beers themselves have introduced Lightbox. 3 साल हो गए, 3 या हाँ ये चौथा साल है अभी. तो Lightbox is their brand name, and they have already been growing. In fact, उनको जो डिमांड मिली है ऑफ कोर्स राइट नाउ दे हैव लॉन्च्ड ओनली इन द यूएस मार्केट, बट जिस तरह की उनको डिमांड थी, दे हैड नॉट एंटिसिपेटेड दैट डिमांड, और उसकी वजह से अब उनको नए प्लांट्स लगाने पड़ रहे हैं अपनी लैब ग्रोन डायमंड्स की टोटल कैपेसिटी बढ़ाने के लिए। जो मुश्किल से 500,000 कैरेट पे थे, दे आर ट्राइंग टू रीच 1 मिलियन कैरेट, बट स्टिल दे गॉट माइल्स टू गो। तो इसलिए इवन डिबियर्स मतलब सप्लाई नहीं कर पा रहा है डिमांड के सामने। The other big player which has just recently come in is Damas in the Middle East. Gaia is the name of their brand, and it's of course it's early days क्योंकि I think 2 ही महीने हुए हैं उन्हें लॉन्च किए हुए, बट जो मैंने उनसे बात करी थी तो उनके अपने बाकी नेचुरल डायमंड की सेल्स पे इनफैक्ट कोई असर नहीं पड़ा है। दिस इज सीन एज एन इंक्रीमेंटल बिजनेस फॉर देम, सो दैट दे आर वेरी हैप्पी विद इट। पेंडोरा जिन्होंने अनाउंस कर दिया था कि दे आर नॉट गोइंग टू डील इन नेचुरल डायमंड्स एंड नाउ they are completely into lab grown diamond jewelry, though of course in silver and of course their segment is very small, but all said and done उनका जो रीजन यही था कि आज की जनरेशन अगर क्वालिटी ऑफ लिविंग में बिलीव करती है, आज की जनरेशन अगर सेव द प्लैनेट कहती है, और आज की जनरेशन को अगर एनवायरमेंटली प्रोडक्ट्स चाहिए, एनवायरमेंटल फ्रेंडली प्रोडक्ट्स, तो उसके लिए उन्होंने ये लैब ग्रोन डायमंड की ज्वेलरी इंट्रोड्यूस करी। और अगर यूएस के रिटेल ब्रांड्स अगर आप देखोगे, वेदर इट्स वॉलमार्ट और बीसीज और Zales एंड डायमंड फाउंड्री और सिग्नेट और हल्सबर्ग, आई कैन जस्ट गो ऑन गिविंग यू मेनी नेम्स, ये इन सब ने अपनी ज्वेलरी इंट्रोड्यूस करी है। इंटरेस्टिंग पार्ट ये है कि वो दोनों ज्वेलरी में डील करते हैं, माइन डायमंड्स की भी और लैब ग्रोन डायमंड्स की भी। और एज आई हैड अर्लियर सेड कि वहां का भी एक्सपीरियंस यही है, जो नेचुरल डायमंड्स खरीदते हैं वो अगर लैब ग्रोन की तरफ आते भी हैं तो भी दे जस्ट वांट टू इंक्रीज द साइज, दे आर नॉट कॉम्प्रोमाइजिंग ऑन देयर बजट्स। एंड सिमिलरली जो लैब ग्रोन डायमंड ज्वेलरी भी है वो भी काफी उनकी बिक रही है, मोर एंड मोर कंज्यूमर्स आर एक्चुअली बाइंग, so both the categories are selling very well, and that's going to be the reality worldwide. Both the categories will continue to sell. So coming to who are the players in India at the moment, of course as I said कि ये जो association है वो एक बार जिस तरह से उनके plans हैं अपनी industry को आगे बढ़ाने की और creating that awareness for lab grown diamonds and marketing and exhibitions and events and all that which are being planned, which will also create a lot of demand. And जो लास्ट 3 साल में जो ब्रांड आए हैं, there is Ananta, Fiona, Nitya, Vandals, Limelight, and many more, I'm sure. So these are the various different brands which are already there in the market. In fact, there is a new portal being designed, I've been told, जो B2B सेगमेंट के लिए ही है, जहां से आपको मैक्सिमम इंफॉर्मेशन भी मिल सकती है और मैक्सिमम मतलब ट्रेनिंग चाहिए या आपको किसी तरह की मार्केटिंग सर्विस चाहिए या एक्चुअली आपको सिर्फ खरीदना है, मे बी 1 पीस और 2 पीस, बिकॉज काफी सारे लोगों ने मुझे ये भी सवाल किया था कि हमको अभी स्टॉक नहीं करना, हमको 1 या 2 पीस लेके ट्राई करना है, so those possibilities are also there. So coming to my final segment of frequently asked questions, जो क्वेश्चन अभी तक मैंने फेस किए हैं वो है will supply outstrip demand? Now this is a very critical question because लोगों को लगता है कि just because ये machine made है या जो plasma reactor as they call it machine made, तो उसकी वजह से तो आप मशीनें डाल दो तो आपका रातों रात सप्लाई बढ़ जाएगा, बट ये हकीकत बिल्कुल भी नहीं है for various different reasons. First and foremost, as I said, कि डिमांड इतनी ज्यादा है और सप्लाई इतनी कम है बिकॉज आप आज भी जब हम 6 से 7 मिलियन कैरेट ग्रो करते हैं डायमंड वर्ल्ड वाइड, उसमें भी मशीन मुश्किल से 10,000 के आसपास हैं, मतलब एग्जैक्ट फिगर नोबडी नोज, बट कहा जाता है कि लगभग 10,000 मशीन्स हैं। तो आप सोचिए कि जब आपको इन 10 सालों में 159 मिलियन कैरेट्स आपको बनाने होंगे, कितने लाखों मशीनें और आपको लगेंगी, और फाइनली 2030 तक, जो कि अभी और हम अगले 25 से 30 साल की बात कर रहे हैं, तब तक तो वो गैप 278 मिलियन का हो जाएगा, तो तब और कितनी मशीनें लगेंगी। तो ये एक बड़ी स्लो प्रोसेस होगी, मतलब इट्स नॉट गोइंग टू बी इजी कि आपने मशीन लगा दी, चलो आप कहते हो कि भाई एक मशीन आज 1 करोड़ की या 1.5 करोड़ के आसपास आती है और मेरे पास पैसा है, मैं लगा दूंगा, बट द अदर बिगर प्रॉब्लम इज आप ये साइंटिस्ट लाओगे कहां से? The number of scientists who can actually produce this is very handful and very minuscule at this point in time. Though of course वो आगे लोगों को ट्रेन कर रहे हैं, बट जो रेसिपी होती है, जैसे कोका कोला की एक अपनी रेसिपी है जो उन्होंने आज तक किसी को रिवील नहीं करी है, वैसी जो ग्रोअर्स हैं, जो इंडिविजुअल ग्रोअर्स हैं, उनकी भी एक अपनी अपनी भी रेसिपी है जो इट्स नॉट बीइंग पास्ड ऑन सो इजीली टू एनीबॉडी. सो दैट्स अनदर रीजन. तो भले ही आपके पास पैसा है कि आप मशीन लगाओ दोगे, ना तो आप साइंटिस्ट ला पाओगे, ना आप रेसिपी ला पाओगे, and it is going to be tough. I mean, all said and done, yes, no doubt you will still see a lot of new machines and a lot of new factories, a lot of new plants coming up, but जो supply है वो still मेरे हिसाब से डिमांड को exceed at least अगले 25 से 30 सालों में नहीं कर पाएगी. तो सवाल ये भी लोग मुझे पूछते हैं कि भाई इसके तो प्राइसेस हमेशा क्रैश होते रहते हैं, कम होते जा रहे हैं. मेरी पर्सनल ओपिनियन है, और जो मैंने इंडस्ट्री एक्सपर्ट्स से भी बात करी है, और जो ग्रोअर्स से भी मेरी काफी बात हुई है, it looks like that the prices have already bottomed out completely. तो इससे ज्यादा नीचे जाने की उम्मीद कम है for two reasons. एक तो ऑलरेडी ये बॉटम पे आ चुके हैं प्राइसेस, और दूसरा जो बिगर रीजन है कि फाइनली द प्राइसिंग ऑफ दीज लैब ग्रोन डायमंड इज आल्सो लिंक्ड टू योर नेचुरल डायमंड की प्राइसिंग, रैपअपोर्ट प्राइसिंग जो हम मानते हैं, राइट? तो और आपने देखा होगा कि पिछले कुछ महीनों में या लगभग साल भर में कह लो कि जो नेचुरल डायमंड्स की जो प्राइसिंग है वो काफी बढ़ गई है. तो अल्टीमेटली बिकॉज इसकी प्राइसिंग भी नेचुरल प्राइसिंग से लिंक्ड है, और आगे भी बिकॉज उसकी सप्लाई कम होती जाएगी तो नेचुरल के प्राइसेस बढ़ते जाएंगे, तो वहां पे भी ये प्राइसेस भी धीरे धीरे ग्रो ही करेंगे, बिकॉज इससे ज्यादा मेरे को उम्मीद नहीं है कि ज्यादा कम होंगे. देन सवाल ये आता है कि शुड लैब ग्रोन एंड नेचुरल बी अंडर द सेम रूफ. सी अलग अलग लोगों की अलग अलग बिलीव्स हैं, अलग अलग वे ऑफ वर्किंग है. I mean, I'll give you another example from completely different industries. तो अगर मैं लिकर और अल्कोहल की बात करूं, तो जैसे जॉनी वॉकर जो ब्रांड माना जाता है, उसके अंदर ऑलरेडी अलग अलग कंज्यूमर सेगमेंट्स के लिए अलग अलग हैं. तो आपके पास रेड लेबल है जो लोएस्ट सेगमेंट माना जाता है, देन मिड लेवल पे ब्लैक लेबल है, और हाई सेगमेंट के लिए आपका ब्लू लेबल है. So that's a very clear strategy कि under one brand umbrella they have 3 different segments that they are catering to. दूसरी तरफ जो एक एग्जांपल है वो अगर मैं ऑटोमोबाइल इंडस्ट्री में देखूं, so Toyota, which is seen more as a mass worldwide mass car, are also actually into Lexus, which is seen as a completely in the luxury segment, but nobody actually knows that they come from the house of Toyota. अंडर मतलब एक ही कंपनी की 2 अलग अलग प्रोडक्ट्स है, बट ज्यादातर लोगों को इस बारे में पता नहीं है. तो उन्होंने एक लग्जरी सेगमेंट के लिए अलग रखा है और एक नेचुरल सेगमेंट के लिए अलग रखा हुआ है. सो ऑल सेड एंड डन, इट्स अप टू ईच इंडिविजुअल रिटेलर. मेरा मानना है कि एज लॉन्ग एज यू आर एब्सोल्युटली ट्रांसपेरेंट, एज लॉन्ग एज आप बिल्कुल 2 अलग सेगमेंट में आपके नेचुरल डायमंड ज्वेलरी रखते हैं और लैब ग्रोन डायमंड ज्वेलरी भी रखते हैं, तो उसमें कोई हार्म नहीं है. बट अल्टीमेटली ऑफ कोर्स आई लीव इट टू इंडिविजुअल रिटेलर्स to take that call. Then the final question is there a resale value for lab grown diamonds? This is something which a lot of retailers have been asking me, जिनसे भी मेरी बात होती है. हालांकि कुछ ब्रांड्स जो हैं already in the Indian market, they do offer resale value, they do offer buyback at the B2B as well as B2C level. So मतलब अगर आप उनके ब्रांड्स में डील करेंगे तो कोई हर्जा नहीं है. बट मैं खुद पर्सनली समझता हूं कि हमें इसमें एक्चुअली ये ज्यादा एनकरेज नहीं करना चाहिए अबाउट बायबैक और अबाउट रीसेल वैल्यू. यस, एक्सचेंज यू कैन, बिकॉज एवरीबडी वांट्स टू अपग्रेड देमसेल्व्स कि ठीक है मैंने कल 1 कैरेट का लिया था, आज मुझे 1.5 कैरेट का लेना है, तो यस आप पुराना ले सकते हैं, मतलब एक्सचेंज दे सकते हैं, बट नथिंग बियॉन्ड दैट. एंड सो कोशिश ये करें कि इसको ना करें. इनफैक्ट अगर कोई कंज्यूमर आपके पास आता भी है कि नहीं मुझे रीसेल वैल्यू तो पक्का चाहिए, देन दैट इज योर रीजन टू पुश योर नेचुरल डायमंड्स. यू कैन ऑलवेज से कि अगर आपको रीसेल में ज्यादा इंटरेस्ट है तो नेचुरल डायमंड्स का प्राइसिंग ज्यादा ग्रो करेगा. फ्रॉम इन्वेस्टमेंट पर्सपेक्टिव दैट मे बी अ बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट. बट अगर आपको ये लेना है लैब ग्रोन डायमंड, सो इट इज मोर फॉर एडोनमेंट. So natural diamond will become more for lockers versus this will become more for adornment. So accordingly आप ज़्यादा बड़ा size या half the price, as I said, double the size or half the price खरीद सकते हैं. So basically that's what I wanted to talk about on lab grown diamonds. I would love to take questions now. Sahil ji, अगर कुछ आप.
Yeah. So Prasad ji, it was a good presentation and very informative one. And in fact, ये question pricing के बारे में 2 बार आया भी था कि resale क्या है, and I think so you explained it well कि resale है तो आप natural की तरफ जाइए और अगर आप शौक से पहनना है तो आप ये पहनिए.
बिल्कुल.
So anybody who would like to ask question to Prasad ji, I would request them to write their complete name and then switch on their video so that we can unmute you. If anybody has question, please raise hands. In the meantime, Prasad ji, मुझे पूछना था, इसमें जो लैब ग्रोन में भी सर्टिफिकेशन होता है?
बिल्कुल होता है. मतलब बोथ जितनी भी लैब्स हैं, इनफैक्ट अब तो जीआई ने भी शुरू कर दिया है फॉर लूज डायमंड्स. ऑफ कोर्स जीआई तो लूज डायमंड्स के लिए करते हैं, बट ज्वेलरी के लिए आईजीआई भी करता है और एसजीएल भी करता है. तो ये काफी इसका डेवलपमेंट हुआ है. और जो सर्टिफिकेशन होता है वो एग्जैक्टली सेम पैरामीटर्स पे होता है जो नेचुरल डायमंड्स का होता है. सो सो दैट्स द वे इट वर्क्स. सो ऐसा मतलब सब जगह सर्टिफिकेशन अवेलेबल है. एंड एज आई सेड कि ज्वेलरी का भी अवेलेबल है. सो इट्स एग्जैक्टली द सेम. सो नो डिफरेंस.
ठीक है. अभी संजय अग्रवाल जी जो लाभम के कन्वीनर हैं वो भी हैं. 1 मिनट संजय जी, आप हैं लाइन पे? ओके, सो क्वेश्चन के लिए रैंड शिवराम जी का है, तो विल स्टार्ट विद शिवराम जी. या शिवराम जी अनम्यूट करिए प्लीज. या सो वी हैव आस्क्ड यू टू अनम्यूट.
ओके. हाय प्रसाद.
Hi Shivaram.
Thanks Sahil. Very well said. I think, how does a retailer take a call on whether to keep these new lab growns along with natural, right? All of us are familiar with that. Can you give us your idea about what has been the experience of let's say De Beers with Lightbox in the US? Are they sold in under the same roof? And number 2 is, what is your perception of how consumer will see if it is sold in the same roof? I understand, disclosures and all will need to be made, but from your experience, how does that pan out?
See, as far as Lightbox is concerned, which is a De Beers brand, which they started off initially with the tying up with 1 or 2 retailers, and now gradually they're expanding because the demand has been huge. I mean, they themselves had not really anticipated that. And to the extent that today their supply is having an issue, and that's why now they are actually putting up on more plants to increase their capacities. And that is also one of the reasons that they are not actually looking at any other markets at this stage. क्योंकि अगर आपके पास सप्लाई नहीं होगा तो आप दूसरी जगह जाके क्या करोगे, so that's also true. And but yes, US market of course is an exceptional market क्योंकि वहाँ पे जो growth हो रही है वो phenomenal growth हो रही है on lab grown, and the awareness is almost to the level of 78%. And so is the level of awareness in Europe is 78%. This is the latest the MVI research which they have shared. And so level of awareness बहुत ज़्यादा है, so that makes all the difference. हालांकि इंडिया में अब awareness काफी बढ़ने लगी है, and that's why that Economic Times, as I said, has already said that there is a good growth happening on that. Sorry, what was the second part of your question?
Second one was really actually what is the consumer's view, where there is American diamonds in the market. I saw your point on gold upgradation that is happening for a gold jeweler, opportunity for a gold jeweler to upsell to a CD. But from a customer perspective, right, if a retailer is putting both the products on the table, especially in these current times, right, how do you think the consumer will perceive both the
Honestly,
products?
Shivram, there is absolutely no resistance at the consumer level. Zero resistance. I mean, and honestly, I was very surprised. In fact, they are pleasantly surprised that there is a new category, and which is, if they are identical to diamonds, in fact, they still see it with some apprehensions. Is it like a moissanite? And they try and ask you 10,000 questions. And whenever I have given them example of a IVF baby or test tube baby and things like that, once they get convinced that these are absolutely identical, so that has made a big difference. Because that's where, as I said, either then they go for double the size because they're not compromising, they don't want to come down, or in fact, most of them want to buy much bigger diamonds. So that's one thing very clear. The second is from consumers' perspective. Again, the general feeling is that this is a new category, so the retailer is actually doing it for my betterment, for my good. They obviously don't know your margins, or they don't know the reason why you have kept it, but they always see it as a positive approach. The third is also the fact that even as long as the retailer is also very transparent ki bhaiya ye mere lab grown hai aur ye mere natural diamonds hain, so they also see you as more trusted jeweler, who has a complete transparency, and very clearly he is telling me that this is what it is. And the fourth point which I have here to add is, see, finally retailers 22 कैरेट भी बेचते हैं, 18 कैरेट भी गोल्ड बेचते हैं, 14 कैरेट भी बेचते हैं. Now it's the same gold which is in different segments. Why are you selling in smaller segments of 14 carats? Is also because you want to make it affordable. So that's the reality of today. The pandemic has made people very conscious on value for money. And once that has happened, and as I said, this new generation in any case believes in quality of living and save the planet and environmental friendly goods. So there again, it's always seen that you are going with the today's demand of consumers. You are actually seen as you want to meet. And ultimately, honestly, I also feel we are all businessmen here. हमारा काम है अपना business देखना. हमें कोई किसी एक कैटेगरी को बचाना या छुड़ाना या ऐसा कुछ है नहीं. Wherever whatever the consumer wants, we must supply and make our own money, right? So that's the way I see it. So as a businessman, as long as there is awareness, as long as there is demand, there is no harm, and you're giving both the category very very clearly.
You're transparent enough to explain to the consumer. That's very important.
Yeah. So consumers appreciate that.
Good point. Good point.
Okay.
Very nice.
So thank you. And now we have a question from Mr. Sanjeev Agarwal ji.
You'll have to unmute. Sanjeev,
we can hear you.
No, I can't hear him.
Okay. So, Prasad,
Hi.
2-3 points. One is excellent presentation and making people aware, because there's always a if and but about man-made diamond.
Yeah.
And I personally think there's a huge potential. In fact, your number of growth is under estimation.
Yes.
I expect the growth to be at least 35 to 40% per year.
Absolutely.
And the reason why I'm saying this is very simple. Diamond or studded pieces of jewelry is always aspirational compared to a plain gold jewelry. Yeah. And at the lower income household, because aspirationally they cannot buy diamond, they're going to CZ. And I see a huge shift from a CZ to a man-made, because they say for a little extra, I'm getting the real thing. And I don't have to be compromising my family's position vis-a-vis other members. So I easily see a much larger growth. But the question I have is, do the jewelers have to be conscious about the fact that what is the level of stocks that they have holding on diamond, existing stocks, and should they sort of be more cautious in the future purchases? And the reason I'm saying this is that whenever there's a new product category disrupting the market, there's a huge upheaval with the existing product market pricing. Mm-hmm. So do you see that happening? Maybe not immediately, but 2 years, 1 year, 3 years down the line?
Now, first of all, yes, I agree with you. Whatever figures that I've quoted is very conservative, but nonetheless, those are the research figures. So I don't want to give my figures, my experience figures. But and in fact, there is a new research which is the findings are going to come up in October. So I'll definitely share all those figures once again, and I'm sure that I'm going to find this about 25% for sure. So that's point number one. Point number two is the consumers. So, sorry, can you just repeat that question?
So, second point is any new product category disrupts the entire pricing of the traditional product. Yeah. So should the retailers be conscious about how much stock they have of old diamond stocks and be conscious about the levels?
Right. So what happens here is it's again up to the retailer how he wants to segment this. As I was giving you an example of Johnnie Walker. So you have your red label, you have the black label, and you have the blue label under the same roof, right? But very clearly segmented for the masses, for the mid segment, and for the high segment. So similarly, here the retailer will have to do their segmentation first of all very clearly. That is point number one. Point number two is the way retailers also give offerings कि अगर आपको silver चाहिए तो silver में भी मिलेगा, gold में भी मिलेगा, आपको platinum में भी मिलेगा. So it's an additional category in diamond segment. जैसे आपने बोला कि CZ में jewelry है and there is a natural diamond jewelry. Now there is a new segment in between. जो मैं example जैसे 14 carat, 18 carat, 22 carat की मैं बात कर रहा था. So again, it's all about segmentation and how you actually do it and how conveniently you can do it. The third and the foremost which I feel is that you should continue in natural diamonds. So there is no way, you should replace everything. That's not something which needs to be done. But as you do the segmentation, I personally feel because the bigger price difference is in the solitaire segment, there is a huge difference. Almost, I mean, today a 5 carata is available for maybe 9 to 10 lakh of rupees in lab grown, which perhaps will cost you maybe 50 lakh of rupees, or maybe even much more. I mean, I don't know exactly what the pricing at the moment is, but तो ये लगभग 15 से 20% पे आपको मिल जाएगा. So the big difference is going to be in the solitaire segment. And वैसे भी जो Mind Diamond का जो अब तक का मेरा experience रहा है, is the stars and Melee which really sell well in India. And as I said, by volume, it is almost 85%, and by value, it is close to almost 77%. So that means your segmentation should be कि आपने अपना जो natural diamond का jewelry रखी है, that should be in the star and Melee and basically small diamonds. That should be one segment. And then for the solitaires, you should immediately have another segment with the lab-grown diamond jewelry. And I think you'll be able to manage to sell both.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, okay. So now we have a question from Mr. Naresh Kumar.
Yeah. Sir,
yeah.
Where can we source the plant and machinery to produce the CVD?
That's a tough one. Yes, I mean, there are growers in India. There is no doubt about that. But there are growers worldwide, but primarily they're in Italy, they are in Japan, and they are in India. So there are definitely these machines available. But again, as I said, the production is very limited. So it's not going to be so easy to procure any machine.
Okay. Are you doing any consultancy in this field, sir?
Yes, I do. I've deep dived into this entire category, and
I will contact you later on because I'm serious about this. Can you please give me your mobile number right now?
Yeah. I think GJC will share it with you.
What you do is, Naresh, you share your email and this thing on the chat of Labam, and we will connect to Prasadji, because Prasadji detail is also otherwise also available to you. It's not a problem. It's open to public. But also, when suppose you want to contact, you contact GJC. You must be a member of our GJC, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So then, from our end, Ninad and all will get in touch with you, and he'll connect you with Prasadji.
Yeah. Whom should I call?
You can share your mobile number and email ID on the chat.
I'm sorry, I didn't get it. Whom should I contact in GJC?
Ninad is there.
Ninad.
Yeah. And Prasadji, otherwise also you can share in chat your email ID and mobile number. So that's not a problem.
Yes, please. That would be better.
Yeah. So now, okay, Naresh, agar aapka question should we move to the next question?
Yes. Sure. Thank you, sir.
So Mr. Rajendra Jain sahab, aap question पूछिए.
Hi, Prashad.
Hi, Rajiv.
Hi. It was a nice presentation.
Thank you.
And so I have one question. It's a pricing question, and it's a very challenging pricing question about the benchmark of the pricing in the lab-grown diamonds or created diamonds. It's a big challenge. I know you will say that there is a pricing benchmark of Rappaport price. But Rappaport price, say for example, if I buy from a manufacturer created diamond, and I buy him, say for example, 95% of Rappaport price, and then I buy it and I sell it to the customer. Customer asks me 95%. So customer also knows, or retailer also knows, or manufacturer also knows the 95% the price is going on of Rappaport. So now how to make money? I mean, I buy at 95%. My customer is also asking 95%. So what will be my margin? So what is the solution in this? This is a big challenge to sell lab-grown diamond.
See, it is as I said, it's a very relatively a new segment. And honestly, जो सबसे बड़ा problem जो इस वक्त market में है और खासकर pricing को लेके, it's not the growers which are actually discounting it to such an extent. ये जो pandemic में जो कहते हैं ना घसिया जो होता है, जो ये घसिया जो घिसता है डायमंड, वो जो एक मार्केट में ये कर रहे हैं because they have to work for their own livelihood, because pandemic में they have been without a job or without any work literally. So इसकी वजह से there has been a desperation. So I think it's just a first of all temporary phase. So ये कहीं ना कहीं जाके अभी stabilize हो जाएगा. Second, in terms of how to make margins, is of course the value addition that you offer. Because see, as a supplier, as long as you have the complete range, आज सबसे बड़ा problem ये है कि जो मुझे खरीदना है डायमंड वो available नहीं होता कभी भी. आपको 10 जगह जाना पड़ता है और तब जाके आपको मिलता है. तो इसीलिए कि B2B पोर्टल भी एक नया जो बन रहा है, उसका जो आइडिया यही है कि भैया ज्यादा से ज्यादा अवेलेबिलिटी हो, ताकि आपको जो डायमंड चाहिए वो आपको वो मिल जाना चाहिए. तो एज अ सप्लायर अगर आप वो एक पूरा अपना पोर्टफोलियो रखते हैं कि आप कुछ भी सप्लाई कर सकते हैं, so definitely that is the value addition which will be seen. So people would like to come to you time and again. So in some you may make fantastic margin, in some you may make minuscule margin, but yet people would like to keep coming back to you because they know there is a consistency of supply. So as in general also, diamond field is all about consistency of supply, because it was always seen as a natural resource so far. और आज की तारीख में भी लैब ग्रोन भी, जैसे मैंने कहा कि डिमांड बहुत ज्यादा है और सप्लाई कम है, तो इट्स नॉट गोइंग टू बी इजी. तो इसलिए ये वैल्यू एडिशन आप क्या दे सकते हो उस पर डिपेंड करता है.
But for example, I just give an example. I got the inquiry from the foreign country, and then I quote the price. The guy is telling me, the customer, international customer, is telling me, yeah, Rajendra, I can supply you in this price. So so where the benchmark is. I mean, it's because the price, there are different. The customer will go to another vendor. He will ask another vendor. He will ask another vendor. So
Yes.
This Rapaport is also confusing. This Rapaport price is also confusing in the created diamond, because when somebody says 95% or 96%, so that becomes a benchmark of the pricing, and everybody, retailer, manufacturer, consumer, everybody expect that 95%. I want the price. 95% is the right price. So buy.
राजेंद्र जी, इसमें एक मैं करेक्शन करूंगा कि 95% एक्चुअली हर डायमंड का नहीं है. the less than one.
No, I'm giving an example. I'm giving
just
exactly.
an example. That's what I'm saying. So at different levels, the pricing is different. That's point number one. So जो बायर का काम है वो तो हमेशा आपको सबसे ज्यादा जो प्राइस पॉइंट होगा उस पर ही बात करेगा, 95, 96 की बात करेगा, because that's his job. He's trying to negotiate as much as you can. But that's where, if once you explain to them that there are different categories, there are different pricing segments, and there are different ways of doing business. And as I finally said, it's the value addition that you want to bring to the table. Because ये तो negotiation हर जगह चलेगा. नेचुरल में भी वही होता है, कोई मुझे 30 बैग देता है, कोई मुझे 32 बैग देता है, कोई मुझे 33 बैग देता है, मैं भी 10 जगह पता करता हूँ. तो ये तो मतलब इट्स अ गिवन. देयर इज नो डिफरेंस बिटवीन द टू. खाली वहां 30s में बात होती है, यहाँ 90s में बात हो रही है, 85 में होती है बात, अलग अलग सेगमेंट के लिए. सो जैसे नेचुरल में भी वो अलग अलग सेगमेंट के लिए अलग अलग है, कहीं 20% है, कहीं 30% है, कहीं 40% बैक है. तो सिमिलरली ये केस है. मतलब देयर इज एब्सोल्युटली एक्चुअली नो डिफरेंस. इट्स जस्ट दैट बिकॉज इट्स अ न्यू कैटेगरी, तो देयर इज अ होल लॉट ऑफ एंजाइटी, देयर इज अ होल लॉट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट, देयर इज अ होल लॉट ऑफ एक्साइटमेंट अराउंड. सो एवरीबडी इज जस्ट ट्राइंग टू प्ले अराउंड एंड गेज द मार्केट. बट ये विद इन नेक्स्ट 6 से 8 महीने में मेरे हिसाब से सारा स्टेबलाइज हो जाएगा, क्योंकि एक बार ये पैंडेमिक का भी असर जब कम हो जाएगा ना, तो ये घसिया जा रहे जो आज मार्केट में जबरदस्ती सप्लाई कर रहे हैं वो भी सारे बिजी हो जाएंगे, एंड द होल सिनेरियो विल चेंज. एंड एज इट इज लास्ट 6 महीने में 20-25% से नेचुरल डायमंड भी ग्रो हुए हैं, तो आपके एक्चुअली लैब ग्रोन के प्राइसेस भी ग्रो हुए हैं, ऑल सेड एंड डन, बिकॉज एज आई सेड इट्स ऑल लिंक्ड टू द रैपअपॉर्ट प्राइसिंग. So वैसा कोई प्रॉब्लम मेरे को दिखता नहीं है. It's a transitory phase, and in any case when there is a new category which is introduced, जो संजीव भी बात कर रहे थे, there is always the first turmoil for 6 months, which both and that is more at the trade level, because trade के लिए ये नया झटका होता है, कंज्यूमर के लिए नहीं होता. कंज्यूमर इज ऑलवेज पॉजिटिव, भाई मेरे को मेरे प्राइस पे कुछ अच्छी चीज मिल रही है तो मुझे क्या फर्क पड़ता है, So from the consumer's perspective, it's not so much of an issue. It's always the issue that comes from the trade perspective.
तो आपको लगता है कि Rapaport price is a disadvantages for or Rapaport price ये benchmark बन जाएगा या इसका नहीं बनेगा, या what do you think in created diamond में Rapaport price benchmark बन जाएगा आगे फ्यूचर में जाके, और ये challenging हो जाएगा सबके लिए?
Again, it's very early to say, but मेरा मानना ये है कि eventually lab grown diamond will have their own pricing.
Yes.
100% ये चीज होगी. मे भी थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा इस चीज को, लेकिन ये होगा जरूर.
Yes. So since now people are not knowing anything because of the reason they are taking help of Rapaport price, और उस हिसाब से चल रहा है.
Absolutely. तो अभी as I said, it's early days, so ये सारा अभी थोड़ा मतलब टर्मोइल चल रहा है मार्केट में, बट ये सारा 6-8 महीने में सेटल हो जाएगा.
Okay, thank you Prashad, thank you so much.
Thanks Rajendra.
Okay, Prasad ji, will take question from Siddharth.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, Prasadji, hi. Amazing
Hi.
presentation. Thank you so much. Very informative. And I have, in fact, secretly taken screenshots also of whatever you have, whatever pointers you actually had presented to basically, especially the ones that convince the jewelers why they should actually adopt, CVD. So that was one challenge over the past 1 month. I was trying to call them and I was trying to, and they had their queries on exchange and buyback. And will you give me as a loose stone supplier? They were asking me whether if I take it back from my client, will you be able to take it back? So there were certain things that you explained with respect to why they should start marketing it, why they should actually have it, why they should be transparent and having both natural as well as lab grown. So that was pretty helpful, I would say. The only thing is still coming to the exchange and buyback, like Limelight themselves or other e-commerce portals like Everbright, Limelight, they are offering, or probably they have to offer at this time exchange and buyback, so that once the confidence builds, then you can probably withdraw it later. Yeah. I see people offering only for 1 year or for 3 years, not a lifetime exchange, not a lifetime. Some are also offering lifetime. So little on how to, now and in future, how we should actually sell lab grown jewelry.
See, as I said, and you rightly said, a brand like Limelight or other brands are offering buyback. It's purely because there are certain market limitations. And as I said, it's more the trades doing than the consumer doing. Consumers are still not that keen. But yes, even if one consumer walks in and sort of says, no, I don't want to buy it because you're not giving a buyback, then it's a loss. So I understand even from the retailer perspective why they are insisting on these buyback. But if at all you have to offer, you should offer it for a limited period, 1 year, and that's it to the consumer. I mean, and so जो lifetime वाला जो चीज था वो अब गया, वो जमाना गया, it's high time that we actually move out of that. And worldwide ये कहीं और नहीं होता other than India. It's only in the Asian countries and especially in India.
Very invest.
Yeah. Correct. So
they still look at it as an investment option, and which other countries really don't.
See, actually, उसका ये बहुत बड़ा reason है. Yes, there's a big reason for that, and actually the reason being that women in India are still not economically that independent as compared to the Western world. So what happens is that when she goes and buys a gold jewelry, she is happy to come back home and say that today I invested 1 lakh of rupees in gold jewelry, so I have invested, she says, because she can justify it because it's for the whole family, because it's going to grow. Whereas because diamonds were never promoted as investment value, so diamonds are always seen कि पता नहीं grow होगा और नहीं होगा, ये investment value कुछ है या नहीं है, and keeping all that in mind, that becomes an issue for a woman to justify at home. तो उसके लिए ये जो buyback का जो एक चीज है, it's more specific to the Indian market, where it just gives them the confidence. Ultimately मुश्किल से 2% से भी कम लोग वापस आते हैं, so that's a reality. So that's what it is. So it's just a reassurance, which then they need to justify it at home. So that's why you have to give it, but you can always give it for 1 year. You don't have to give it for lifelong. So that's important. Yeah.
Okay. Any more questions, please? Yeah. So Raghunathji, start your video. You have raised your hand, and Arvindji, do you have a question? So yeah. So we'll have Raghunathji first.
Yeah. Good evening, sir. Kapreji, good evening. This is Raghunath from Vaibhav Jewellers, Visakhapatnam.
Good evening. Good evening. See you after a long time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sir, I want to just ask regarding the pricing, and somebody has asked and you have clarified it very well. Only thing, I just got a thought, on that, because diamonds always in this part, especially in Andhra, we see it as a second category of business for us. Yeah. But if you look at the inventory versus the turns, it's always a challenge. It is that's very difficult for us. So now, in your experience, if you can just share what would be the inventory turns, especially if any figures if you have like that, it gives a lot of confidence to this particular part of people, because diamond, if the inventory levels and the turns are much higher than the natural diamonds, and that would be a lot of scope for the retailers here. That's what just I wanted to know now.
See, yes, it's I mean, as I said, there is no research, formal research on the turn side of it as yet, because these are early days for India as a market. Again, it's my personal experience and personal belief that this is going to grow in any case. Now, today, your natural diamonds stock turn is considered, I mean, is anywhere between 1.6 to 1.7 for a good retailer. versus the gold jewelry is anywhere between 3 to 4 turns for again a good retailer. Versus that a lab-grown diamond, even if it's at a half of 0.5 as a turn as of now, but that's likely to grow phenomenally. And I'll tell you the reason. The big reason is that today, if you see overall jewelry market, now the jewelry market in India is considered to be totally about 5 lakh crores. I mean, which of course includes your exports as well, but of which your diamonds is just about 10%. And that's also because the gap between the plain gold jewelry versus diamond jewelry, there is a huge gap. It's usually at least the double plus. So if I'm comfortable buying something at 50,000 for a plain gold jewelry, if I have to think of diamonds, that is natural diamonds, I have to go to 1 lakh. I mean, that's where it starts for the kind of jewelry that I want to buy. And because of that huge gap, I have never managed to graduate to a diamond jewelry. So I have always throughout my life been buying gold jewelry. And as I said, that's also a reason for a good justification at home. So that's where the woman continues and feels a comfort level of buying gold jewelry. And now what is happening is, because there is an affordable segment between CZ jewelry and between natural diamond jewelry, this is where it's going to be pegged, and people are going to convert. So those volumes will start growing phenomenally. Matlab, to just give you a very a simple street side example, there are people who are very happy going to McDonald's and eating burgers, but the fact of the matter is vada pav aaj bhi zyada bikta hai.
Perfect.
Right, and it will continue to grow. And it's not that, see, even I eat vada pav now, but the only difference is, of course, I don't get onto the street because maybe I don't want to be seen on having a street food, or I don't want to, I don't like the heat and dust, or I know there is no AC environment there. So blah, blah, whatever may be my reason. But what do? I'll send my office boy or my driver to be jaake leke aa, mere ko vada pav aaj khane ka dil hai. So it's not that I'm going to give up my burger because of vada pav or vice versa. So I'll continue to have my burger and I'll continue to have my, vada pav. So and that's where because Indians believe in value for money, believe in, what's cheaper and good, and street food in any case is great. So vada pav, the volumes are huge. I mean, it's compared to, of course, the category, as I said, is very different. And, but I mean, even if I say diamond as a category, because the product is forever, because it's forever. So what happens is that, I mean, even if I take the lifetime value of a diamond to be, let's say, 25 years, now you may be paying ₹1 lakh for that, but you're going to use that for next 25 years. And in fact, maybe the next generation for another 25 years. So if you see per day value of it is actually going to be even less than a vada pav, so that's how it's all about your perception and how you actually present it to the client. If I tell you that going in an auto is much more expensive than airplane, you will say I've gone my bonkers. But the fact is, if you actually see the distance that you travel versus the price that you pay, airlines are much cheaper than your auto also. So it's how you present it to the consumers, how you actually support your category. That's critical. So I mean, just to answer your question, yes, the volumes will grow dramatically. It's a question of time.
Okay, great. So we'll have a question from Arvindji. Raghunathji, if your question is done, we'll move to Arvindji. Yeah, so unmute Mr. Arvind.
Hello. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, but there's a lot of noise.
Yeah. First of all, Namaskar, Prasad ji. I'm seeing you after almost 20 years. Earlier, you were in DBS.
Yes.
So your signed certificate is with me.
Oh.
So thanks a lot. I just wanted to know that yesterday I was talking to IDT Worldwide Laboratory. And they said some new convention has come up where they are not putting up natural diamond world. Instead, they say we are starting keeping only diamond. And where it is a synthetic or lab grown, we separately mention it. Is it true?
Yeah, FTC has actually said that a lab grown diamond needs to very clearly say lab grown diamonds, whereas natural diamond can just call themselves diamond.
But has it been followed by the leading labs?
I mean, that's right now the leading labs are all saying natural versus lab grown, because that's the way the trade wants it. That's the way the consumer wants it. So,
okay.
so
they
if
are,
at all it's a natural
they are putting
diamond,
up net.
yeah, they are saying, they are calling it as natural.
Okay, okay. And one more thing, what about the status? Like a lot of online sellers of jewelry, like Blue Stone or CaratLane and others, do they have started also in lab grown?
Not yet, but there are talks being going on, and they will soon start. I mean, that's what I've been given to understand. Not that I'm any privy to that.
Because what I feel, once they put it like a new segment or a jewelry, then gradually the acceptance will be more in the market.
Yes, see, it's bound to happen. In fact, there are a few chains which are already considering this. See, everybody's considering it. There is no doubt about that. So at some point in time, whosoever takes the lead is going to have the leader's advantage or the first mover's advantage, as we call it. So, as I was saying, कि, fence sitters तो काफी मिलेंगे आपको. उसमें विजनरी कौन है और लीडर कौन है, वो जब तक एक डिसीजन लेके इसमें नहीं आता, और जैसा कि हम ऑलरेडी 10-12 रिटेलर्स के साथ डील कर रहे हैं जो ऑलरेडी कर रहे हैं, एंड देयर एक्सपीरियंस हैज बीन फैंटास्टिक, आई मीन दे आर सो हैप्पी विद इट, बिकॉज उनकी सेल्स का ग्रोथ बहुत बढ़िया होता जा रहा है. एंड एज आई सेड, हमारे पास दोनों तरह के रिटेलर्स है. एक रिटेलर वो है जो नेचुरल में ही डील करता था, एंड बट नाउ दैट ही हैज स्टार्टेड कीपिंग दिस, तो उसका नेचुरल भी बिक रहा है और लैब ग्रोन भी बिक रहा है. एंड एज आई सेड कि उसमें उसको खाली बिगर साइजेस बिक रहे हैं, so which is good for him, so he makes better margins, whereas somebody who is almost 97% in gold and or hardly 3% in diamond, so uska suddenly diamonds have grown because he started dealing in this lab grown diamond jewelry, because that becomes affordable, and he has managed to convert people from gold to diamonds. So so वो हर हफ्ता के लोग हैं. So it's now up to each retailer to take that call. And ideally जो मैं recommend करता हूँ कि there is no harm in trying for 6 months. See, there are brands जो आपको 6 महीने के लिए ऑफर करेंगे. अब जैसे मैं जिस ब्रांड के साथ एसोसिएटेड हूँ, लाइमलाइट जो मेरा ब्रांड है, वो लोग आपको 6 महीने के लिए देते हैं, एंड दे वर्क ऑन डिपॉजिट बेसिस. सो ऐसा भी नहीं है कि भाई आज आपने 100 रुपए में कुछ खरीदा, जो कल की उसकी अगर वैल्यू 70 रुपए हो गई, जैसा कि लोग समझते हैं कि प्राइसेस गिर जाएंगे, तो ऐसा नहीं है कि आपके पैसे कम हो गए. वो डिपॉजिट है आपका 100 रुपए आपको वापस मिल जाएगा. 6 महीने अगर आपका चला तो अच्छी बात है. आपने डिसाइड किया 6 महीने बाद कि नहीं, मुझे नहीं रखना है, या तो लैब ग्रोन नहीं रखना है या लाइमलाइट नहीं रखना है, आई वांट टू स्टार्ट माय ओन ब्रांड, सो यू कैन गिव बैक द गुड्स, एंड दे आर हैप्पी टू टेक बैक द गुड्स. So तो हर तरह के ऑफर्स अवेलेबल हैं मार्केट में. इट इज इनफैक्ट द राइट टाइम टू गेट इनटू इट, बिकॉज एज आई वाज सेइंग कि द कैटेगरी इज एक्चुअली लाइकली टू ग्रो एट 25% प्लस, वर्सेस जो नेचुरल की जो है वो मुश्किल से 5% पे जाएगी. So that's going to be the big difference. So
and one more thing I want to ask, what is the percent of diamond polki in lab grown?
अभी तक पोल्की में लैब ग्रोन ज्यादा आए नहीं हैं.
Okay.
It's not worth the value for the growers.
Okay.
So that's why, I mean, बन सकता है, आराम से बन सकता है, कोई बड़ी बात नहीं है. But
I just wanted to fact check.
Correct.
What is the situation?
Absolutely. Colored diamonds के भी बात अगर मैं करूं, यही मैं ऐड कर दूंगा. Colored diamonds भी अवेलेबल हैं lab grown में. There are pinks available, there are blues available. Yellows आए हैं, लेकिन अभी वो intense yellow जो हैं वो नहीं आए हैं. तो अब जैसे एक सेगमेंटेशन की बात चल रही थी, अगर कंज्यूमर को रिटेलर को अपना सेगमेंटेशन करना है, तो हो सकता है वो खाली कलर्ड डायमंड्स आप लैब ग्रोन के रखो, आप व्हाइट डायमंड जो है वो नेचुरल में रखो. सो हर रिटेलर कैन हैव डिफरेंट स्ट्रेटजी. आई मीन, आई कैन ऑलवेज सिट डाउन विद यू एंड एक्चुअली मेक यू अंडरस्टैंड हाउ थिंग्स कैन बी डिफरेंट. बट ये काफी कुछ किया जा सकता है इसमें.
अच्छा प्रसाद जी, मेरा क्वेश्चन था,
थैंक यू.
Yeah, so you can hear me, Prasad ji?
Yeah, tell me.
So the CVDs which are there in India are manufactured in India or they are imported in India? How are they like?
They are manufactured in India. They are grown in India. So India is the largest grower in the world.
Okay.
For CVDs. So
for CVD, yes.
Yeah. So
and since you said it's CVD, it's the thing is quite refined. So I mean, you say, why would not anyone manufacture only DEF color only? Like, I mean, you say since the cost would be not much of a difference between DEF or G or I? Whatever.
See, at the moment, as I see, first of all, जब ये grow होना शुरू होता है, so the actual seed is of a natural diamond. Okay. So the first seed of the diamond is a natural diamond. It's a chip of a natural diamond. मतलब वो जो कहते हैं ना दही से दही जमाना, so it is literally like that. So ultimately उसमें natural diamond का element तो है ही, you know, all said and done. That is point number one. Point number two is जब आप ये grow करते हैं, तो जो process है वो exactly same है जो mining में होती है, ठीक है? हालांकि खाली प्योर होती है, तो इसलिए आपको as it is colors आपको better मिल रहे हैं. What you see VVS-F in lab grown will be much higher than maybe getting a SI and maybe K color, you know. So it's in fact that is more difficult for them to produce. So that's one. But having said that, अब जैसे IVF babies जो हम कहते हैं, जो टेस्ट बेबीज हैं, अब उसमें अगर आप ये बोलें कि भाई जो मेरा बेबी बॉर्न होगा उसकी आवाज अमिताभ बच्चन की होनी चाहिए, जो क्रिकेट खेले वो सचिन तेंदुलकर की तरह खेले, और जो दिखने में ऋतिक रोशन हो, तो ये पॉसिबल अभी तक तो नहीं हुआ है, ना टेस्ट ट्यूब में हुआ है, ना अभी तक लैब ग्रोन में हुआ है. So you know, still because the process is still the natural process, so that difference will always remain till of course there is a new technology that comes in.
No, great. I don't think so there are many more questions left anymore.
Okay.
I have really asked a repeat question also and got the answer about the pricing. Prasad has already explained. So multiple things. Okay, now the thing is कि आपने इतना patiently सबके questions लिए, बहुत अच्छे से answer किए, and really happy, and people were also very participative.
Yeah,
I'd like to thank you for your presentation. And for any of the members who had more queries, can get in touch with GJC. So you can email at the labam@gjc.org and we'll reply to that.